The brick and mortar costs for our industry are one of the fixed line items that we need to be more flexible on. We need to be in a position so we can flex that line item faster than we have in the past. So we think the industry of the future is going to have less square footage, less brick and mortar, and thus more profitability as a result of that. So in closing those offices and consolidating them into existing offices, we did not abandon a single market. We've grown since then, but it's the key to success with respect to that fixed line item is to reduce the cost over time and keep it that way. It is technology. And it's not technology as to how we generate leads or how we respond to leads or manage leads. It's going to be more process related, and it's going to be the form of technology that makes it more attractive to the consumer. I think the industry has tried to make it very attractive to us as the owner-operator, and that will continue to change. And it will change in such a manner that it's going to be beneficial to the consumer as well as to the owner-operator and also the agents. But there's a lot more that needs to happen for us to be truly technology-based, because we will be one day. One day, we're not going to recognize this industry from that perspective. So I think over time, not the entire industry, because this is an industry known for a very entrepreneurial spirit. The backbone of the business will always be the small to medium-sized broker, so we should be happy about that, and we are. But there's also a strategy for a large roll-up strategy like ours. It doesn't mean the balance of the business needs to also be public or even as large as we are. That's not the case at all. But you know, in any industry, to make it healthy and stronger and to increase the level of investment in the industry, both from a technology standpoint and from a process standpoint, you need a few big players to sort of lead the charge, if you will. And I'm flattered and also encouraged. That's right. Coldwell Banker at the time had both company-owned offices as well as franchise. They had about 350 offices that were company-owned. We didn't at the time want to be an owner-operator. We were a brand manager. We are students of brand equity. We believe in brand equity. We think once it's established in the mind of the consumer, it's very, very difficult to unseat that brand awareness. So we wanted to spend most of our time building the business, not building a brand. And we went after those brands that were, I think, well-known in the industry and if not dominant in their own sectors, and Coldwell Banker was certainly one of those brands. So the back of the office support for those brands is synergized. Everything that touches the customer is unique to that brand. And we learned long ago that they need to stay unique. In fact, we want them competing against one another aggressively in the marketplace. Back in the shop, they're one company. So we leverage all of our assets. We invest more in technology than most people in this business, but we can leverage it across a very broad spectrum of companies. New York is a very unique boutique market for a variety of reasons. It caters to a completely different type of customer. It's a very sophisticated market from a real estate perspective. We acquired Corcoran, which was a dominant brand, competes against Douglas Elliman in that marketplace. And actually, we were under contract to close that transaction 2 weeks after 9/11.
Ooh.
So
awkward timing.
Like most purchase agreements, there's a MAC. It's called a Material Adverse Condition Clause, which makes it possible under extreme circumstances to exit and not close the transaction. After 9/11, we felt that that was not the right statement to make. We were not in the business short term. We're in the business long term. We knew that long term, the acquisition would be fine, and we knew that long term real estate would be fine. So we had to vote with our hearts, not just our minds, and not just our balance sheets. And we closed 2 weeks after 9/11. It turned out to be one of the best acquisitions we've ever made. So we made the decision for the right reason, and we were paid dividends as a result of that. Is we need to move away from this paper-intensive business that we're in, and we need to move to a purely paperless business and industry. Consumers demand it. They demand it in virtually every other aspect of their lives, and they're going to demand it of us as well. So you've got to take that listing all the way to a close, and it's got to be paperless. The consumer and all parties to that transaction need 24/7 access, not only now, but 10 years from now. What's interesting about that process is NAR is, I've been following in their footsteps for a long time when it comes to lobbying in Washington. They are, without a doubt, the most powerful lobbying group in DC. They're feared and also respected, and that's the combination that you want by just about everybody on the Hill. They command immediate respect and also admiration. So if you can follow on their coattails and support them, we're all better off at the end of the day. Now, from time to time, they're going to take a position we won't agree with. That's fine. 95% of the time, we agree. They've been incredibly supportive. They do a lot of the heavy lifting we never hear about. But it's hard work. It's not a lot of enjoyment. It's very difficult. Politics is awful by any definition, and they are to be applauded every day for what they do for this industry.
Thank you.